past that. It says, verse 20, now then, we are, and this is what he says, ambassadors for Christ. All right? And so the idea there is that you would have a king, and we might call them ambassadors to different nations, and essentially what it is the ambassador doesn't have any authority on his own, but the ambassador is the one who just relays a message, correct? And he relays that message to wherever, whatever nation that he has been called to go to. And then Paul goes like this: Jesus Christ, the Son of God, the King of Kings and Lord of Lords, has given us a message. And every single one of us, you, us, we, me, you, I, us, every one of us are an ambassador for Christ. And the message is simple. You ready? You ready for the message? Yes? Verse 21. He made him who knew no sin to be sin for us, so that we might become the righteousness of God in him. All right? Now, there's this day long ago, and Jesus died on the cross. And for 6 hours, the wrath of God was poured out on his very own son. Okay? For 6 hours. It wasn't the nails, and it wasn't the scourging, and it wasn't the thorns on his head. The thing that must have been more torture than anything else was being separated from his Father and the wrath of God being poured out on him for 6 hours. And that had to happen in order for my sin to be taken care of. That's how bad sin is, just in case you forgot. It's not like we tripped. It's not like losing your keys. It's not like stumping your toe. Sin is rebellion against a holy God. And you don't just pay for that by community service. You pay for that because the Son of God literally gave his life so that we could have life, right? And he takes away our sin through that. But that's not all right? So his resurrection gives us life. Now, listen, I want you to think about this. In order to get into heaven, it's not just about sin forgiven, all right? In order to get to heaven, you have to have righteousness put on your account. So when that day you believe and the sin is gone because you believe and trust in what Jesus has done and he pays for the sin, all right? But now you stand only at neutral, okay, before God. But here's you ready for the good news, the best news? I know, I can't wait to see that. Thank you, Angela. The best news is this, is that the righteousness of Jesus is now put on my account, all right? So now when I stand before God, I'm not a sinner because my sin has been paid for. I stand before him with the righteousness of his very son placed on my account. And now God looks at me and sees his very own son. And do you know what I did to get that? Nothing. Do you know what I could ever do to earn it? Nothing. I don't care if you lived 1,000 years. It wouldn't be a drop in the bucket to what God did for you in 6 hours, one day, 2,000 years ago. If you put your faith and trust in him, he will wipe away sin and guilt. And he will give you the righteousness of his very own son. And one day we look into his eyes and we get to say, thank you. Thank you for all that you have done. For a dirty, rotten sinner like me, who had nothing to give to you, nothing to offer, but you freely gave your own son so that I could have life with you forever. Amen?